Okay, good evening, and we are live on Freakshow number 16. Hope everybody's all well. So tonight we have Stig in the top right hand corner. I'm loving the hat. We have all the way from sunny Manchester, and a happy birthday to Skelly. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Wastelanders from around the world, our special guest, the coolest man on the planet, we have Karol B. Hey! Thank you so much for joining the show, Karol. We've been trying to get you on possibly since we first started. So thank you for everything. Awesome to have you on, sir. For people who have not heard of you or know of your possibly the best post-apocalyptic clothing shop on the planet, first of all, how did you get into the whole post-apocalyptic scene?
But I didn't really get into it until I saw Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And that's like my friends started coming over. We started watching it over and over again. And we started getting really into the cars and the costumes and everything. So I became obsessed at that point.
Right. So from initially seeing Mad Max, what was your sort of... Did you start building outfits first? Or how did you then take it to the next stage?
So for me, like I wasn't as much of a car guy. My friend was a car guy, so he was looking at all the cars, and I was like, "Oh, okay, sure. You know, I guess that looks like a Camaro or this kind of car or whatever car." And for me, though, I think I don't know. I enjoyed dressing up a lot already at that time, so I was more focused on what people were wearing, and so I think that was my focus. I just started trying to find these things, find the football pads and figure out what kind of T-shirts they were wearing and all this other stuff, So that's where I gravitated towards.
So at that point, when you started sort of building out the costumes, did you have anywhere to go over in sort of America? Were there clubs, or did you wear them to clubs, or did you go to Comic-Cons, or...?
Oh, yeah. Not really. I didn't really have any place to wear them to. My friend and I, we like to make our own little home movies. So occasionally we'd make some home movies. But I think the first time I really wore a Mad Max outfit anywhere was in high school. Senior year of high school. I decided to wear basically like a Wes costume. I shaved my head, I had a Mohawk. I pierced my ear just for that costume. I went to some S&M shop in San Francisco and got a cod piece just for that costume. I really went all out, and so that was a really interesting experience. But yeah, I drove into high school that morning on Halloween. We have Halloween here where we dress up. Drove in my pickup in the back of my pickup truck into the high school parking lot in costume, screaming at the top of my lungs, and just wore the costume all day and went to a sport, like a little sports game later at in high school in the costume. So wandering the halls and everything.
Did anybody else go in Mad Max stuff, or was it just you?
Yeah, it was just me.
So it was a tribe of one, was it?
Yeah, pretty much.
The great northern tribe.
Yeah.
So how did you initially get involved with sort of like the early Wasteland Weekend or the event before it was called Wasteland Weekend over in LA? How did all that come about?
So immediately before Wasteland, I helped with this event called Road Warrior Weekend event, and that was not my event, but it was something that I had a lot of resources for. I was positioned, very well to help with this kind of event because I had run a few smaller events before, and I knew I knew Vernon Wells and I knew a lot of the car owners. I was very involved in the Mad Max community, so I had all these resources, and so I helped out with this event. And then things didn't go quite the way I wanted, and so I got a bunch of my friends together, and we started Wasteland Weekend.
Wow.
Right after that.
What year did the first sort of idea for Wasteland start to sort of come together?
Yeah. Well. I actually have a whole history of this on my website, on one of my websites, postapocevents.com, where I just did this whole blog about the whole history. People can check that out later. But I think it was kind of a slow evolution. So I started getting into Mad Max stuff, and then the internet found other people on the internet that were into this thing finally, and wanted to meet those people. And then I saw other events happening. There are Mad Max, anniversary events and stuff like that in Australia. And I think that was really the first thing that ever happened was Back to the Max in Australia. I think that was 2002.
Yeah.
Right.
Where they got some of the cast and crew to come out, and people came out from all over the place to just be at the locations of the second movie. And then I saw that there was an event in Japan, I think 2003 or 2004, something like that. But even before that, I think, or around that time, Mad Max fans, we started finding out about this thing called Burning Man. Which is really taking off at that time. And one of the things that happens at Burning Man, among so many other things, is that these guys come out and they build a Thunderdome. And they bring cars and they dress up kind of Mad Max style, So when we first saw some of those photos, we were all, I think, really, really inspired, because it's like, wow, we're just sitting here online and some of us are making some props here and there, but these guys are actually coming out to the desert and they're building a Thunderdome, and they have cars, and they have the full on gear and kit and everything that they're bringing out. So I think that was probably like the first real inspiration for wanting to get together in the desert and have something like this happen.
Right. At that time, were you sort of based in LA? Is that why it was sort of all in the LA area?
At that time, I was actually based not too close to Los Angeles. I was based in San Francisco, the San Francisco area. So, and that's actually where a lot of the Burning Man people are based, including the Thunderdome people that I just mentioned. So that was actually not a bad place to be at that time. I did go to Burning Man in 2004. I had to go check it out for myself. And I was actually, while I was there, I was inviting people to my first event, because I had an event in 2004. It wasn't anything like Wasteland. It was just basically getting a bunch of people together with cars, driving down the freeway, and then just meeting up and having a nice time and having something to eat. So it wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal for me, because it took me like months to plan that, and I think I spent like $1,000, on that event, believe it or not. Yeah, I even had an FM transmitter that I bought from this local electronic shop, let's just say, so that all the cars going down the freeway could be listening up to the same music at the same time. And we also had a truck. We had a truck that we were following. So I just asked around, and I found a truck company that was willing to drive their huge gravel truck. It wasn't even a tanker, but it was a huge gravel truck. It was the best thing I could do at the time. And we followed that down the freeway, so that it was sort of like we felt like we were chasing a tanker, even though we really weren't.
And then, did you all stop for like a KFC or anything? Was that sort of drive-through?
We actually went to there was an In-N-Out at the destination. Yeah. So
did you manage to get the gravel truck through the In-N-Out without taking the roof off?
Yeah, I think they just kind of kept going at that point. I don't think they got off. I'm not sure if they got off that accident.
Probably a good move,
yeah. They did. Yeah. But other people joined us. Yeah, but other people joined us there. They brought a few more cars, and just we had a little car show there after that, and a little costume kind of thing. So yeah, it was fun.
Oh my God! So when initially did sort of your clothes shop? Your post-apocalyptic clothes shop sort of start taking off? Was that around the same time you sort of doing these events and starting to do clothes at the same time?
I mean, my current business, my current shop, it really started in 2015. So that's that's when I stepped down from Wasteland Weekend in 2015. But obviously I've been working on stuff for a long time. Like I said, I grew up really liking to dress up in different costumes. I used to, watching action movies and stuff, it's really inspired by those sorts of things, horror movies. But so once I started watching Mad Max, I got I got a lot more inspired as far as making costumes. So that's when I started learning how to do like leather work, and identifying all these pieces, trying to find football pads and sports equipment and all this kind of stuff at local shops. And but it was a slow evolution. Like I didn't even learn how to sew until about, let's say, maybe 15 years ago.
Right.
Wow.
So
because it's kind of a big jump going from just doing stuff for yourself to doing it on a commercial level.
Oh yeah,
as you
absolutely.
say, because you got to you got to make the numbers work for a start.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was doing things kind of more of as a hobby for a while, and then I think right after I went to Burning Man dressed up like a Bartertown guard from Thunderdome. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I dressed up myself and I dressed up a friend, and so that's what we went as. And then when I got back, there were photos of me everywhere online, and somebody contacted me, some doctor or something like that, and said, "Hey, Halloween is coming up. I'd like to buy your costume." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I ended up selling him my costume, and that was the first really sale that I ever had. And that's, in about 2004, 2005 time
Did that
frame.
plant the seed then?
Yeah, I think it did. I think once I sold something, I was like, I wonder if I can make more stuff and sell it. And so I actually found a lady in San Francisco who was starting an agency of sorts for like costuming and fashion, like trying to connect customers with people that could make custom fashion or costumes for them.
Okay.
So I did that for probably less than a year, but I got a few gigs out of that.
So what are your main websites at the moment so people can go out and check your stuff?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of websites. So the ones that are pertinent to you and your fan base, I would say. So first of all, my shop website is karolb.com, KAROLB.com.
Okay, I'm just going to put that into the
Sure.
Oh. Yep. Okay. Yep.
And then another website, I have a calendar for post-apocalyptic events like Wasteland Weekend, and events in Europe and events all over the U.S. and the world.
That's on Facebook, isn't it?
It's that. I do have, there are Facebook pages for all this, but I also have a website. So postapocevents.com is where I keep the calendar, and I have a few blog posts on there, like about the history that we just talked about. I have all the details there and links and videos and things like that. And then I would say another website that's probably pertinent to your audience is madmaxcostumes.com.
Oh wow! I didn't know you.
So
I didn't know you ran that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my oldest websites.
Oh my gosh! Wow, hero.
Yeah. So once I met other people online, Mad Max fans, it just became apparent that I was one of the only people that was that interested in the costumes. And so I just started collecting information and sharing information about these costumes and pieces and things that we identified. I went to Australia in 2000, 99, 2000. So I was looking around in thrift shops and secondhand shops there to try to find things, boots and stuff. I was able to identify parts for the costumes doing that. And so 2002, I just started my own website, and I started cataloging everything there.
We've met you. We've met you over in Wasteland multiple times, but also at, was it Old Town in Czech Republic? Yeah, so
Old Town. Yeah, was that?
That was the second time we already knew each other. Can you explain to people online watching what Old Town is?
Good luck.
Yeah. So Old Town, it's a little bit different from Wasteland Weekend. Old Town is really it's a LARP event, so it's live action role playing. It's similar to Wasteland. There's camps and there's tribes and there's post-apocalyptic costumes, all of that stuff, vehicles. But it's really a game, and it's a lot more Fallout based than Mad Max based. I actually struggle to even remember anything Mad Max based that I saw out there. I think you would agree. It's not a lot of Mad Max. Maybe a Thunderdome, right? There's like a mini Thunderdome or something like that. But otherwise, it was started by Fallout fans, and it's very sort of Fallout fan.
Whereabouts is that in the world?
Well, it's It's in Poland, which just happens to be the country I was born in. Just maybe that's why
it is.
That. I don't know,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's in Poland.
It was. We were very
Yep,
impressed
and-
as you spoke the local lingo, and we were like, Karol is a man of
Yeah.
many. You know, he knows stuff. So
Yeah. My Polish is not super great, but I understand it decently, and I speak it less decently. But yeah, I can get by there. And
So you know what to drink and what not to drink, because that seems very important at Old
Holy
Town.
hell.
I'm probably not good at that. So I pick the wrong things.
Have you been to Old Town more than once, or just that one time we were there?
Just that one time. Yeah, that was 2017. I was just there that one time. I wanted to check it out and see it for myself. I'd love to come back, but I'm not sure. Maybe next year.
Well,
I don't know.
at the moment, sort of everything's
see.
sort of shut down, but
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm doing next week right now. So maybe next year.
Okay, so if any of you guys have got any questions online, if you start posting up your questions, guys.
Yeah, I see one now. I'll have to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one from Freak Bear. Yeah.
Well, hi to Freak Bear, by the way. Freak Bear is, just to let everybody know, next week we're going to do a special Freak Show where we're going to get some of the Cult of V2A on, which will be quite funny. So we will post on the Cult of V2A site some details, and all you got to do is put your name and a picture of yourself, and we will randomly pick about 6 people out from the Karol V2A, and they will be our guests next week on the show. Also coming up on the show, we've got Kundalini from Mad Max 1 coming soon. Yes! Where's my hand?
That'll be good.
That's an in-joke.
We're not
that's
allowed
an
to
in-joke
ask
if you
that.
ever watch Mad Max 1. We've also got the amazing Angry Anderson from Mad Max 3.
Yeah.
And Rose Tattoo, which is going to be awesome. We've got Double Trouble with we got So it's Mark Sexton and Greg Van Borsum back, both of them, which can only go horribly wrong. And then we've got some major more Mad Max actors and creators coming on. So
Kevin, that quiet.
yes, we're not saying anything.
Don't
we're not saying anything.
tell
But
them everything. No, come on.
So look out for that, guys. So back to you then, Karol, on your shop. So currently, what is your best sellers? What's the cool thing at the moment for post-apocalyptic wear?
Well, I think I have Fallout patches on my site, so those have always been really popular for a long time. Other than that, I know my jackets are really popular. Maybe not. I mean, they're a little bit steep for a lot of people, so and not everyone can afford them.
But I've seen them on your stall and at Wasteland, and there's so much work that goes into them. I'm not surprised they're there's going to be some money involved because there's a hell of a lot of work.
I've actually got one of your coats, Karol.
Yeah,
I actually wear it, and
it
is amazing. The quality, it is stunning. So if you ever see me in the evening at a post-apocalyptic festival, I'll post some pictures up. I'm wearing the coat with all the metal sort of round clamps. That is one of Karol's specific hand-designed pieces, and it is stunning. Seriously, it is the quality. I was just blown away with the quality. It is just amazing. Really thick. It's better. It's better made than like leather jackets, biker leather jackets and stuff. It is. I was stunned, mate. Really, really epic. And also, it looks like nothing else. It looks epic. It just looks badass.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, and of course, V2A have had a few outfits made by some people that have fallen to pieces. Not Karol's stuff. Not Karol's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I must admit, Karol's coat. I will get it later on and post some pictures up. Seriously, guys, if you are after, because post-apocalyptic festivals are normally over multiple days, and it's great in the daytime when you've got like your armor on and your t-shirt and stuff. But at night, it gets cold. So having a cool jacket, a cool post-apocalyptic jacket, is always key. And when you see it, they're sort of limited edition, so they're quite, there's not many of them around. They look absolutely awesome. So definitely go to his website, guys, and check it out, because I love mine. I've had mine now for 3 or 4 years, and that's my go-to jacket. I wear that everywhere.
Yeah, and if people are looking for one of those, I call it the Fractor Mark II jacket. If people are looking for that, I only have a couple of sizes available right now. But if they want to contact me about their own size, I'd consider making some more right now. But I'm not in super production mode right now because of the whole thing going on right now.
That we won't mention. Just on the thing that we won't mention, did you lose any stock? Was there?
Oh, yeah. There was a shop in LA where I was keeping some of my stuff. So I may have lost a few items there, but I didn't have a lot there to begin with. I pulled a lot of it out last year because things were slow last year even. So it didn't hit me that hard. Yeah. But I feel bad for the shop owner that happened to.
So a lot of small guys have got hit really badly. It just seems completely wrong.
Yeah, because even though people go, it's insurance, rioting and stuff like that, it does not cover your shop insurance, does it?
Yeah. That was on Melrose Avenue. Is that right? Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, where there's a lot of boutiques, a lot of edgy stuff there. So there's at least a dozen boutiques that sell that kind of stuff. So it's kind of misfortunate that it hit the one that I had my stuff in, but it wasn't that big of a loss for me. It's a much bigger loss for the shop owner.
Later on, at some point, note the words at some point, will be our own post-apocalyptic festival, Haven Outpost, which is going to be a massive one in the UK, big indoor bunkers and everything. It's going to be awesome. Would you possibly like to come over with your stall or some stuff like that? Because I think European people seeing your distinct post-apocalyptic clothing would be massive. Would be very, very excitable for people.
Yeah, I would definitely consider it. I don't know about bringing my whole stall over there. I think that would make possibly very expensive, but I've been thinking about it. Actually was, I wanted to go to Europe this year actually, but that obviously isn't in the cards. But so if not this year, maybe next year I can come over, and I'm definitely thinking about how I can get stuff over there. I have 3 or 4 cousins and a number of friends over in the UK, so maybe there's some kind of way to get stuff over there and maybe keep it at my cousin's place for a bit.
Well,
and
definitely.
Stuff like
also
that.
Next year as well, we are playing Amphi Festival in Germany, which is a massive one, and that might be good doing something there as well, because that's huge. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, in the chat room, Paul was asking roughly how much is that Fractor jacket you're talking about?
Okay, so I have a couple. Well, I'll start with the big price. I normally sell them for $449 on my website.
Yeah.
Right now, I have a couple of larger sizes available that I'm willing to let go for $199. So if they're like a 2X or I forget what the sizes are off the top of my head, but you can check. It's on my shop. I have a couple larger sizes available right now.
And I must admit, guys, it is. If you're going to buy a post-apocalyptic coat, definitely have that one in mind, or definitely take a real good look at it, because it's going to last your lifetime, because it's that well built, and also it's that distinctive. It is awesome.
Adam, yeah.
Okay, what was the question? Should we go for that one?
Sure. Yeah. The question was, what was the most complex costume that I've created? So, yeah, I've had some time to think about that now. I'm still not sure, but I think it's that Bartertown Guard costume, and not just that one, but ones I've built some parts for those since too that have been challenging. So like on the Bartertown Guard costumes, finding the right shoulder pads, and then finding the Australian lights that go on top of them, and then building the belt for that, and finding all the car emblems that go on it, and then the leather work and stuff like that. Like, and then the Mohawk is what I was thinking mostly, because that's I think one of my greatest achievements, I think, is coming up with that Mohawk. So the Mohawk I finally figured out is a horsetail. That is, it's got the skin on it. It's got horsehair with the skin on it. And so that horsetail,
washed, I hope.
Oh yeah. I actually shampoo them before with horse horse shampoo.
Good move.
Yeah, but they're salted, you know, and all that to preserve them. But then, yeah, so I wash them in shampoo, and then what do? I submerge them in water for about 8 hours to soften them up, and then I put them on a wooden block so that they take the shape of the head.
Like a former, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's something I had to develop. I think I developed that in 2011 or something like that, because for Wasteland Weekend my dream, and I know Jared shared this with me, is we wanted to have Bartertown guards at Wasteland Weekend. And so that was something we really wanted. So I went, as soon as I started figuring that out, I started to build, the wooden block and ordered some of the horsetails online. So that was a really cool thing that I came up with there, or figured out anyway.
Yeah, so, when Jared was on a couple of weeks ago, I looked back at some of the old photos from the early Wastelands, and those guards stand out. And the hair, the Mohawk with the long tail is incredible.
Yeah.
But this is guys out there. This is why Karol's stuff costs a bit more than other people, because it's done properly
and it's built to last. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think some of those Mohawks that I built in 2011, they're still using them now for the elite guard.
Is it?
So where did they go? Sorry, went on from there to. You're saying with that outfit, you went to.
Oh yeah. So I think the Mohawk was like the big part of it, but yeah, I mean the whole thing, that was probably the more complex one that I built. Even the weapon that I made, it was like a hammer. I tried to replicate one of the weapons from the movie, so it was like it sort of looked like a big sledgehammer with a knife blade sticking out of it.
Yeah.
So I carved that hammer head out of wood and pounded studs into it, and then found like a plastic rubber knife at a costume shop and put that on the top. I mean, that's
so nice and lightweight then.
Yeah.
Is there any materials you don't like working with? I.e., like leather or stuff like that. Is there stuff that is more your favourite, easier to work with, or?
Yeah. So. Gosh, I don't know if I hate working with any materials, but I mean I like working with leather, and I like working with organic materials like cotton and wool and stuff like linen. That's what I prefer to work with. But as far as like what I don't know. I mean, vinyl, polyurethane, synthetics sometimes I'm not a big fan of.
Have you got any plans, because next year they've got the brand new Neotropolis, the cyberpunk sort of experience. Are you going to be building anything for that? Are you going to get into some sort of like cyberpunk stuff, shop wise?
I think I will be. Yeah, I think I will be. I was just thinking though, the Mohawks that I made, those are actually a huge pain. That's probably one of the biggest pains that I've done, because I've continued to make those.
Self-inflicted.
Even last year I made a few. Yeah, I know. Those are actually a pain, because like the leather, the rawhide on it, comes like everyone is different. They're different thicknesses.
Of course.
So you try to use a rivet on those things. Well, you can't use that size anymore. Now you got to use the bigger one, because it's a bigger, it's a thicker skin. And just the shape of it, the whole and all the hair that keeps falling off of it, and you have to clean the hair off the floor. So yeah, that's actually one of the biggest pains that I've had to deal with, is actually making those things. And I glue a lot of the layers together. It's just it's a mess. So that's one of the reasons why you wouldn't find that in my shop.
Yeah, you can't go off and order some.
Yeah.
I don't know if I.
There aren't enough noughts on the end. There aren't enough noughts on the end of your pricing for that.
Yeah. But for Neotropolis, it's possible that I'll start working on some futuristic stuff.
And also, will the futuristic stuff be also available in your shop online?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. One thing about my shop is, I carry some supplies too for people that are making their own costumes. So I have Fuller's Earth.
Yeah.
Like the dust, the fine dust that they use in movies. And occasionally I'll sell like military surplus, little bits and pieces that people can put on their costume. Um, I might eventually move that over to my Post Apoc event site, just to keep my site, more about fashion and sort of the nice jackets and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let-
for now everything's
less
going
the
on my
how
shop.
to less the how to and the ingredients. Yeah, more the end product.
So when we see you at
Yeah,
Wasteland, your shop. Is there any photos of your shop from Wasteland, just so people can get an idea of what it looks like when you're at a festival?
Yeah. Do you want me to
If you
send
could,
those to you, or
and
should
we'll
I
put,
in the chat that we have here, or
or
no?
if we do it online on the Cult
Facebook?
of V2A. Have you seen that on our later on after the show? If you can send us some on that, and we'll post them up on that,
Okay.
because
Yeah, after
I
the
must
show,
admit,
sure.
every time we go to Wasteland, your shop is our favourite by far. So we always spend all our time in there. It's
Thank you.
and you have so many different products. Like, for example, I've got my my bear, which you can't see, but I've got a little
Oh yeah,
the bears were good.
yeah.
They were awesome. The little war boy bears, yeah.
The war bears, yeah. But yeah, for people that don't know, they're teddy bears that I
I've
made
actually
to
got
look like
one
war
here. I'm
boys.
just showing the audience. Absolutely amazing. So that goes on my buggy. So of course that's a must-have as well. So how long does it take you to set up your stall at Wasteland? Because it's quite a big stall actually.
Yeah,
There's a
I've
lot
got
of
one of
items.
the bigger shops there, and I'm on a corner. It takes at least a day. I get there the day before Wasteland opens, and I start setting up. And it's one thing to set up the structure and everything, and then it's like, honestly, some years I don't really finish putting everything up and getting everything just right until the event's almost over.
Oh god, yeah. Do you get time to do anything, to see any of the festival, or are you just sort of heads down in your shop?
Yeah, most years I don't, but this last year I made sure I hired some help. So yeah, I actually was away from the shop most of the time this last year. So I finally did myself a service and did that for myself.
You finally got to experience Wasteland, the modern Wasteland, at least.
Yeah. I was out of the
That's
shop.
good.
Most
I
of the
think
time,
you're one of the
this
only
last time.
people from Wasteland who's not been on stage with us.
Yeah,
Got to fix that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned going on stage last year, but yeah, I didn't quite see any opportunity to work my way up there.
We will be back next year, so we will have to definitely sort something out, because literally we have everybody else on from Wasteland on there.
Well, we got the half-naked Russian, so we should be able to get Karol on. I can't see a problem with that one, can you?
So the next part of the show, we have a section called Never Have I Ever. So what it is normally Mechanized does this, but she will be back next week. So the idea of this is I'll do it this week. I have two things I've done or may have done, and you've got to try and work out which one is a lie. Okay? And also, people in the audience, guys, you've got to the end of the show to work out which one you think it is, and then at the end we will announce which one it is. Okay, so the two things I've got: never have I ever nearly been run over by 80s pop sensation Rick Astley, and in disgust I gave him the two-finger salute. So that's one of them. Or never have I ever shot with a paintball gun J.K., the lead singer from Jamiroquai, at almost point-blank range in the back, and blamed his bandmate, who then he got very, very angry with. So, Karol, which one do you think is the lie? Is it the Rick Astley, nearly being ran over by him, or is it shooting J.K. from Jamiroquai, almost point-blank range in the back with a paintball gun?
I'm going to go with the first one.
You reckon the Rick Astley? Okay, so
Rick
that's
Astley,
that.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
I
in the
said that
audience,
one.
you have to the end of the show. So is the Rick Astley a lie, or is the shooting JK from Jamiroquai, who totally deserves it, that's all I can say, in the back with a paintball gun? So we were going back to post-apocalyptic festivals you've been to. So you've been to Detonation, you've been to Wasteland Weekend, you've been to Old Town, you've been to Burning Man. Any others?
Not that I can think of. There is the what is it called? The Jugger event. Oh, Winter Games they call it. Winter Games. It's put on by the Juggers that go to Wasteland.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Where's that take place?
That takes place about an hour from Wasteland Weekend. Right. It's also in the desert, in the high desert in California. So yeah, I don't know if that counts, but that's it counts. It's definitely its own thing. So I've gone to that a couple of times.
Is that just Jugger, or are there other sports there?
It's just Jugger as far as sports, but it's sort of a mini festival. So they have performances and they have vendors and things going on for the weekend.
And when's that on? What time of year?
Well, it kind of changes. I think the last couple of years it usually stays February, March, around then.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year was postponed, but we're not sure if it's going to happen this year at all. Maybe later this year.
This year's been cancelled. Full stop.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. No. Everything this year's been cancelled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2020 has been cancelled.
This year has been. Yeah. There is no 2020 anymore.
Apart
so it's next year going to be
2021 immediately.
Yeah. So you get another birthday. You get 2 birthdays next year, Skelly.
Yeah. I normally have 3 in a year, anyways.
That's true. We got Anders Patmos.
I'm a bit birthdayed out, to be honest. Still eating the cake.
Cake's out.
Made too big a cake. I made a massive cake, then realised, oh shit, I've got to self-isolate.
So you ate it all?
So you ate the whole thing, yeah. Skelly scoffed basically a whole chocolate cake.
I didn't. I gave stuff to other people from a distance. I didn't have a brute.
What, you mean you threw it at people? Lobbed it over the
maybe. And shouted, go on,
so just back to Karol. So Karol, where are you currently?
Sorry,
is that your office, your warehouse, or?
This is a friend's office, actually. I thought I would get a little bit more privacy here. So
yeah, because we keep seeing a gentleman with shorts walking around in the background. So hello to him, whoever he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Scott.
That's an impressive beard.
I'm liking the beard, by the way, Karol.
Yep.
Hello. Hey.
Oh,
awesome.
T-shirt. Nice shirt.
Yeah. By the way, before the show's over, I'm going to show. Scott just created a little V2A laser patch for you.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Oh wow.
We love Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
So before we sign off, I'll flash it in front of the screen, and then I can post it in the group afterwards.
Hello,
fantastic.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott. Scott's the guy with the beard.
So, any questions?
Yep. Yeah, he's got a laser
etcher here. Any other questions, guys, online? Come on, people. Load your questions. So, a quick one, Karol. If I was saying to somebody from Poland, hello, and do you like a post-apocalyptic clothing, how would I say that in Polish? You haven't got a clue.
Don't ask me.
Yeah. Or someone who speaks Polish.
I mean, I could.
Would you like to butcher
something
really
badly,
because this is only going to go on YouTube and be on the internet forever. So this will be high.
Oh yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but you'll end up with people getting arrested for trying to proposition the policeman's daughter or something.
Yeah. So what is it?
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
Do
you wear post-apocalyptic clothing?
Now I'm thinking, how do you say where?
How do you say only on Sundays?
You can sort of say anything because we don't really know. So.
Okay, I don't know. Just Cześć or Dzień dobry, like lubisz ciuchy post-apocalyptne? I don't know. I mean, that's pretty close, I think. Do you like post-apocalyptic
cool.
clothing?
So guys, anybody from Old Town, if you could come on with your critique, let's.
Yeah. Or if you want to offer me free tutoring in Polish, so I can get this back up to where it was before.
You see, we always end up taking the mickey from Mechanized that she's a fake German.
Yeah.
We reckon that you could possibly be a fake Pole here.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, I've been here since I was 4, so I'm very American now.
So, what other people's shops do you like? Is there a shout out to anybody else you'd like to give a shout out to? shop-wise, or people you work with, apart from Scott?
I mean, there's a lot of cool shops out there for post-apocalyptic stuff.
Well, which ones do you like? Yeah, which ones do you like?
Head?
What's sort of your favourites?
I'm working with a guy, Todd Waters from Junker Designs. We do some stuff together. We're actually working on some pilot helmets together right now. Yeah, so that's definitely more like expensive fashion kind of.
Where will that be sold? By the way, will that be on Karol B or will that be on?
That's probably going to be on his website or on Instagram or something like that. We haven't really discussed that yet. He's still working on them, and it sounds like it might take a while for him to add all the little details and stuff like that he does. But I'm a big fan of Mark Cordery's stuff. I think his stuff is great. He doesn't have as much of a shop, I guess, as a lot of other people, though.
It's a lot more bespoke and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I have a list of this stuff, so if I could just look at my list, I could tell you all the people. But off the top of my head, there's a lot of cool creators, but a lot of them make one of a kind stuff. So there aren't a lot of people that just have a shop with a bunch of post-apocalyptic stuff in them.
Can I just say we've got an awful lot of cheats in the chat room? Because basically they're Google translating what Kev asked you to say in Polish. So strange enough, both Tony and Martin come up with exactly the same translation, more or less.
Yeah.
So I'm now barring both of them.
I think that is total cheating actually on that. Is there any other festivals you go to that aren't post-apocalyptic? Do you do like Renaissance Fair or whatever it is? Or any of that lot?
No, I've only been to a couple Renaissance fairs in my life. I've only been to a couple. Occasionally I'll go to a convention, but not that often. I went to this one that was really popular, that's still popular here in Atlanta.
Oh,
it's called Dragon Con.
Consoles. Yeah, we might go and play that actually one of the
I
years.
went to that in the early days. Yeah, that was my first convention actually. I was never really I was never much of like a convention geek,
That's massive. That's what, second or third biggest, isn't it, in the country?
It is really big, and I went in, I think it was 2008. So I went in sort of the early days, back when they had the special carpet that you see everywhere. Before they took the old carpet out. But it was really nice. I mean, the thing I liked about it is a lot of people were dressed up, and you just kind of walk. It's like 3 hotels. You just walk around and check things out. You check out other people's costumes. They take photos of yours, where a lot of cons, like the San Diego Comic-Con, which is one of the biggest too, there's a lot fewer people that are dressed up, and it's more of like a industry thing where you have a lot of the film studios there, and you have a lot of vendors and artists, but you don't really get as many people dressed up and just hanging out there.
Oh, that's interesting. Because my youngest goes to the big ones in London and Birmingham, and they're massive, and says it's fantastic. It's in fact now tends not to actually go inside. You just meets all the mates outside, and they just all get dressed up, and they go and have the photo shoots and the videos and the get-togethers. It's almost like a fringe. It's incredible, but they all get dressed up. So the fact that San Diego is less so, I found that really surprising.
Yeah, it's
a lot bigger. I can see why Dragon Con's bigger. Yeah. For San Diego, I mean, I've never purchased a ticket.
Oh right, yeah.
For that con, but I've gone there a lot to promote Wasteland Weekend.
Yeah.
And you can still have fun, but you can have fun outside of the convention center. There's restaurants there.
Yeah, that's what Jess finds. Yeah.
There's other installations there that that the film studios will set up outside, so you don't have to really pay to get in. Inside is it's more or less it's vendors and artists inside, which doesn't interest me as much as just like dressing up and hanging out.
Yeah. Have you ever? Have you ever thought of doing clothing for TV or film?
I have actually, and when I first moved to LA, I managed to get into the union that they have, the Costume Designers Guild. So don't know if I'm still a member or not exactly. I don't pay the dues anymore, but I was in it for about 4 or 5 years. But you know, it's I didn't really get any work from it. They don't help you. They don't really help you find work. It's just if you do happen to get a big job for a big movie, then you're golden. You have the union membership. But yeah, I did try that for a while. It just it would have taken a lot of networking, and I guess I was just too busy making ends meet to really do all the networking and stuff like that, and hope I got lucky. So, but I like what I do now because I have full creative control over what I do now. If your work as a costume designer, you might think you have a lot of control, and I'm sure you do have a lot of control, but the director is ultimately going to be like, well, I don't like that. I want it this way, and I want this that way, or here's the concept, make something that looks like this, So, in some way I kind of like, I'm not so sure that it was such a bad thing that I didn't, but I'd still like to. It'd be fun to do some film stuff, just because it's fun to do. It's fun to to have something, to make something and end up seeing it in a feature film somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
Is it mainly for your shop? Is it mainly you just producing stuff, or do you have a few employees, or do you just sort of use them as and when you're building stuff?
Yeah, so I actually haven't touched a sewing machine in about a year. I've been working with a guy for about 5 years who does sewing for me. So he's making all the jackets and all that kind of stuff, bandoliers and things. I used to make the Mohawks by myself, but yeah, everything. As time goes on, I'm trying to outsource more and more stuff to other people. I might start producing some of my things overseas, hopefully pretty soon too. Wow. Just to keep the costs down, I mean, what we're in is a pretty niche. It's a pretty niche interest, So I've got to try to get stuff out to people that a lot of the post-apocalyptic fans, they don't have a lot of money. I want to get things to people at a reasonable cost. But I want them to be very interesting and be, have a lot of value at the same time. So
it must be a real trade-off, because obviously we're talking about the Mohawks and the jackets and things, and you want to do it right, but you've also got the other eyes on the cost, because you'll only you'll be making ones or twos of things unless you can make it on a commercial level, and that's your market economy.
Yeah, so I started doing a lot of one-off type of things and custom things, and I just realized, wow, like this isn't worth it, unless I can get people that really pay a lot for it.
Yeah.
Which is really tough to do, and so that's why I started making things, in larger quantities. The thing is, though, is like I want to be more creative. It's just I feel like I have to get sort of, this is a business for me, so I want to get it, to a sustainable level. And in the future, hopefully, I'll be able to go back to just making one-of-a-kind things, and maybe not have to worry about finding those clients, but just make it for fun.
With the normal business sort of ticking over in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I found my list of other post-apocalyptic shops and
vendors,
creators.
Go for it.
I can just blast all those names.
Only the ones you like.
Here's what I got.
If you don't like them, leave them off the list.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, Hand of Garkin, I don't know that he's easy to find, but he's got some really cool stuff he's been making. Squirrel Works, which is my friend here, Scott. He makes a lot of his own post-apocalyptic gear, including, you may have seen that pirate coat. If you go to my website, you'll see a pirate coat.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic pirate coat. Yeah. And I know there's some famous names, Dust Monkey out there. He's pretty well known. There's Nuclear Blacksmith. There's Aesthetic Apocalypse from Europe. I think they've been to Old Town. They go to Old Town.
That rings
there's Time Vehicle, of course, out of Poland.
He does
really cool stuff.
Gauntlets and stuff. Yeah, his stuff's really cool.
Yeah. There's Kai Norman at Wasteland Weekend. He makes a lot of cool stuff. He's a prop maker in Hollywood. The name of his thing is Yokai. Right. Then there's Ron's Rusty Gear. There's, of course, Dimitri Nuclear Snail Studios. Vulture Productions, which I believe is Larry out of Ohio. Larry
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hastings. Okay, thanks.
Get
I
the
don't
name
want
wrong, yeah.
to
Larry.
get the name wrong. On record. Uh, Mark Cordery, of course. Wasted
Awesome,
Couture. How could
yeah.
I forget Wasted Couture? They have a
Oh,
shop
yeah.
full of
Wow.
post-apocalyptic stuff. Again, based out of Poland. It's funny, right? It's like, is this
Yeah,
stuff
is
in my
this a Polish
genes? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, how did I? Yeah, is this a Polish thing? Like,
But a lot of that sort of the metal vampire-y type thing is very sort of Germanic and heading east, isn't it?
yeah,
And
yeah, I think so.
I can
Like
see
the heavy metal, the dark metal stuff. You see that
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
too in Eastern Europe. Yeah.
you either up into Scandinavia, or you go to Birmingham, obviously, or you go
Yeah.
or you go east. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what else too? Like Vietnam reenacting. It's
Is it?
big in Poland.
Yeah. Seriously.
And I've been a Vietnam reenactor. I actually
No
have
way.
this shirt. It's a shirt that
yeah.
I designed for
Yeah.
where am I? RVN.
Oh,
69,
yeah.
You know, so Republic
In
of Vietnam.
Poland, that is bizarre.
It's just weird
That's
how.
just bizarre.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, there's it's just kind of weird. Like I just somehow randomly got into these interests, but I'm finding people from my home country are also into a lot of these things. It's just weird because my parents weren't
Yeah.
into any of this stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, going down the list,
Yeah.
Wasteland Pirate.
Yeah.
And what is it? Mia Shinda, right? She's like super known in Europe, I think, for a lot of really cool
Yes,
post-apocalyptic creations.
Yeah,
And Rad
he's
Roach
nice.
Gear.
Yeah, from Germany.
And then if you like jewelry, I've got a couple of names. Mostly Junk makes some really cool stuff.
Right.
And then Sky Iron Sanctum
Oh my
makes some
God,
really
wow.
cool stuff. So, but they, as far as I know, they mostly make like necklaces and things like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Earring.
What you should do is have like a collective shop maybe on yours on your post-apocalyptic one of your websites. A bit like Wish, where you grab articles from different builders. Yeah.
Yeah, like Wish.
Like Wish, but
Yeah.
actually good.
Yeah.
Wish
Yeah,
is,
but
yeah, that's the fun thing with Wish is it never looks like the picture, does it? It's normally built for a 3-year-old child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of gaffer tape or something like that.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I've thought about turning the Post Apoc events site into having a shop there and having where you can buy patches from all the
Yeah.
different events
I
that are going on. You can buy T-shirts and just supplies for your own costume, things like that. I think I want to do that.
yeah,
Maybe
it
by the
sounds
end of this
awesome.
year.
Also, we will we will organise some sort of special V2A T-shirt for America that will only be available through Karol Shop. So so look out
Yeah,
for
that'd
that,
be
guys.
awesome.
Once we get all the designs and stuff sorted, that one will only be available worldwide from Karol Shop in the US of A. So, what other countries do you think you may be working out of going forward? Is like Japan on your list of countries to start networking with or selling your stuff through, or Europe?
Hi, Scott.
Oh, what did you say, Mark?
Oh, just Scott walked behind you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just
Scott.
saying hello to him.
As far as I'd like to find a way to get some stuff to Europe.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the long-term goal is to see if I can get some stuff to Europe because it's the shipping, the postage is not
Yeah.
great from the U.S.
Well,
So if I
Jared
can-
was saying how they're going to have an awful lot of Wasteland merch available, and then said, "Don't shoot me," but it's not going to be available outside the USA. And the chat room went bloody ballistic because
Yeah.
there's all this stuff which we can't get hold of, and we know we end
It's
up
already
paying.
hard to get here for us because they never, they don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
that-
website that they
Well, they haven't
sell
done
it on.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've got used to paying pound for dollar. Yeah, we lose out big time. But
Yeah.
if someone could
I've
get
actually
together
got a
like
contact for you, Karol, who I will introduce you to.
Okay.
I used to run a club with her in the UK called Contamination Club. A very nice lady called Lisa. She runs Cyclone over in the UK, which is a goth alternative shop. She's a dressmaker as well, so she builds a lot of stuff. I think
Okay.
it's only just come. I was talking to her earlier on today. I will hook you two guys up because I think it might be a good meeting of minds, if you know what I mean.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
awesome,
appreciate that. It'd be
awesome.
great.
S-
So yeah, other countries, Australia, I think. It'd be
Yeah,
nice to
Yeah.
get some stuff in Australia. Have
And
a
Japan,
place.
obviously.
Japan, yeah, I don't know much about the Japanese market. I have some friends there, but yeah, I don't know much about it. I tried selling. I used to have a Warboy backpack, and unfortunately, I can't
that
offer
was
it right
awesome.
now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did really well.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
I tried advertising it to Japanese, to a
Yeah.
Japanese audience in Japan, and I
Oh,
didn't really
right.
sell any
Strange.
that
Take
way.
off.
Yeah, it didn't take off. So I'm not sure. Like maybe there's like a special way to reach the Japanese market
Yeah.
that I'm just not aware
Are,
of.
are you? Are you?
Yeah. Was there? I take it there was no Hello Kitty on there.
Are you by
Yeah.
any chance? So next year we're playing our first ever Australian gig. We are doing the Mad Max Road Warrior 40-year anniversary over at Silverton, and we've got Mr. Minty's
Yes.
going, and Steve Schultz and Tank, I think, and all that. Like, it's going to be awesome. Are you going to that, sir?
I would very much like to go, and I am planning on it.
Hey!
Yes.
Yes.
And I think I can make it this time. I really do. I wanted to go last year
Yeah.
to whatever they were doing last year. I didn't make it, but yeah, I kept kicking myself for that. So yeah, definitely next year. I definitely want to make it. I have a lot of traveling I want to do, and yeah, definitely want to be in Australia next year.
Well, hopefully, if we're all over there, because as I said, we are playing the festival. Are you going to come on stage with us? Do you fancy that? Hey,
Absolutely.
awesome.
Sure.
Also,
Excellent.
And we can have desserts
definitely.
later too, together.
Emil Minty's coming, and he's actually building the Feral Kid. All hail to Emil Minty. He's
Oh, nice.
building a interceptor car.
It's
And-
set to-
Okay. Oh, okay. He's not building like an adult version of his feral kid costume.
He
leader
is,
of the Great
he
Northern
is actually.
Tribe.
We will be doing. We're going to help him build.
Yeah?
In fact, we'll probably get you involved in this. We're going to build him a leader of the Great Northern Tribe outfit. So yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
modernise it and give him a whole cool post-apocalyptic
Cool.
look. Obviously with a boomerang.
Basically, we're trying to get him a role in the next Mad Max film.
Yeah, we're
Nice,
going
yeah.
to start.
Yeah. That's the plan.
That'd be good. It'd be nice to see
Yeah,
George.
some of the actors, the new one, just like with Hugh.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I didn't realise that until a bit further down the line. That was interesting talking to Mark Sexton about how many people George Miller keeps close to him, and they go not just from Mad Max films, but like the pig film, the Babe and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And he obviously has
Yeah.
people, actors, production people, stuntmen who he trusts and loves working with, storyboard artists, writers, and he carries them through all the projects. And I think that is so commendable. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because normally that's it. You're on to the next one. Don't know where the next job's coming from.
So for some reason, and I don't get this
Okay,
because being
okay.
European, well, being English, but if you go over to LA, that they are adamant that In and Out is the best. And I was in Dallas the one time, and they opened it, and In and Out appeared there, and people were like, "You have to go to this burger. This is the world's best burger." And to me, it was just a burger with some salty chips. I didn't. And there was a massive queue. I mean, a huge queue. It's like when KFC or whatever opens in the UK after a close down. The queue was massive. I just didn't really get it. So, a question to you, sir: on American food,
The US?
if somebody came over from Europe and they was like, "Show
Yeah.
me something American," what would you recommend?
I mean, as far as fast food or something like that, chains, I mean, you definitely want to try Taco Bell if you haven't tried that.
Okay.
That's pretty American, more than it is Mexican, I think. I don't know. I like Carl's Jr. or Hardee's. It's also known as Hardee's in different states, so
I think
that
we
would be one
went
to
to
check
what,
out.
What,
But
kind of food is that, by the way? Oh, right. Yeah.
that's burgers, burgers, yeah. But pretty high end burgers, pretty nice
Yeah.
burgers for a fast food place. But yeah, other chains, yeah. I mean, I actually try to stay away from fast food as much as I can, but
I must admit, I'm a massive fan of. Is it IHOP? International House of Pancakes.
Yeah.
How they can put so many
yeah.
calories
Okay.
on one plate. It's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Denny's is really popular. I don't really go to those though.
They're very bad, but very good, but very bad. What is your?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've gone to a lot of independent mom and pop sort of restaurants for a long time.
That's where the best food
yeah.
is, isn't it?
Occasionally I'll do fast food,
So
but not,
a quick
not too
question: what is your favourite drink? So if somebody sees you at a festival and they think I'm going to butter up Karol with a drink, what would be your chosen poison, sir?
often. I'm not a big drinker, but I don't know, like a Jack and Coke or whiskey and Coke or something is usually like a go-to that I do. Or you know what, actually sometimes I really like a White Russian
Yeah.
or a Black
Ooh.
Russian.
Awesome.
Yep, the Kahlua. I like
very
Kahlua.
nice.
I was on a holiday in Cyprus, so it's like sort of Mediterranean, yeah, and with a couple of Norwegian friends of mine, and the barman didn't know how to make a White Russian.
Yeah.
So we ended up showing him.
Okay.
We got so trolleyed, it was unbelievable. It was like sort of they had a tower above it, and we were sat on the top of the tower going, "I spy with my little eyes something beginning with minaret."
Okay.
Just got tanked.
Yeah.
Oh
But
dear.
yeah, White Russians.
Oh dear. So
Lovely.
a quick one then, Karol. First of all, on the Never Have I Ever, which one was the lie? Was it shooting JK from Jamiroquai point blank range in the back with a paintball gun and blaming his bandmate, or was it being almost run over by 80s pop sensation Rick Astley and then giving him a two-finger salute in disgust? Which do you believe, sir? Which is the lie?
So I thought the Rick Astley one was the lie.
Stig, what did the audience?
Chat room agrees. They all went for JK, partially based on the theory that you should shoot JK in the back anyway,
Okay.
whether you did or didn't. What's the answer then?
Wasn't that a storyline in Dallas?
Well,
It should be.
well,
Who
yes.
shot JK? And it was Patrick Duffy
Rick
in the shower
Astley.
having a dream.
Okay,
He's never
well,
gonna give you up anyway.
the correct answer is they are both true. They are literally both true. I'm just teasing on that one.
teased?
Yeah, so
What?
I was in London
Teaser.
by Camden, and Rick Ashley nearly ran me over. Literally, nearly bounced off the front of his car, and in disgust, I gave him the old salute. And I used to play paintball a lot, and I was a paintball marshal. And JK came down with his band. He bought one of the best paintball guns, and he bought really cheap, crappy ones for the rest of his band. So during one of the games, I picked up, while marshalling, somebody's gun to look at it, and shot JK in the back, and then blamed one of his band members, which started a... yeah, it
One of
didn't
his
go
ex-band
well.
members.
We were laughing.
Would that lead to
We were laughing.
Jamiroquai
I
splitting up?
don't know what happened to this other guy, but it was very, very funny.
So he has
Right
done
in the
some
back
good
from-
then, hasn't he, Scully?
Did he have his
No,
mad hat on?
But he's only little.
Yeah.
But he did deserve it. Anybody
Are
who
you sure
does
it was
that
JK?
deserves it.
So here's Scott's work here. He just threw this together during the show. V2A
That's a leather
leather
patch.
patch.
Holy hell!
Bloody hell.
Oh my god! Oh
That's a
my
bit
god, that
accurate.
is stunning.
Jesus.
Would you like? Would you
fantastic.
guys like
Proper
to
leather
put
patch.
that up on
Yes.
your shop? And so if any of the Cult of V2A or any fans want to purchase one of those guys, they are only available from Karol Shop. And well done, Scott. They are beautiful, absolutely stunning guys.
All right. Yeah, we'll try to get them on the shop in the next
send us a
next
link and
hour
we
or
will
something
post
if I
them all
can.
up
Yeah.
on the Cult of V2A. So as you said, guys, this was
Will
invented
do.
and created on this show. So a big hello to Scott. Is he going to just poke his head round onto this camera? Come on,
Yeah.
Scott.
Say hello, Scott.
Hey,
Scott.
awesome work, sir. Awesome work.
See, that's a proper beard. None of this namby-pamby stuff.
there you go. There you go.
Awesome,
Cheers,
Scott.
Scott.
Amazing.
Thanks, man.
Amazing.
brilliant.
How come everybody's got a beard apart from me? I can't grow one, to be fair. I just get like a tiny bit either side, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're a big boy, you'll be able to
Tony
grow
says-
one day.
Tony says, take my money. Freak Bears,
Also,
take my
just
money.
a quick one. If anybody's bored and wants something to watch on TV, the new What Happens in the Shadows has just come out on TV. It's on BBC Two in the UK, and I think What We Do in the Shadows.
What We
Sorry,
Do
and
in the Shadows.
Hulu, something like that over in the US. It's the vampires, which is
FX.
Hulu.
Hulu
Well done.
Plus.
So, Carol, just TV-wise, film-wise, is there anything you're watching during the shutdown? Anything you could recommend to the people?
No, I don't really watch TV much. I caught up on Better Call Saul like a month or two ago, so I'm just waiting for the next season of that.
I suppose you don't get much time, do you, really? Or
Yeah, I'm pretty busy. I like to stay on my computer, and there's all sorts of work I have. I have like a mountain of work that I'm behind on constantly.
So, hopefully, is it sort of the lockdown just coming out of it now over in sort of your area? A shop starting to open?
Yeah, a lot of the shops opened up a couple weeks ago. You have to wear a mask inside, but yeah, I can now go and buy, fabric and things like that at the shop. I know some of the gyms are opening up in another week or two.
Is there like a shop now that will be selling your stuff over in America, or is it just online?
Yeah, I've tried finding boutiques to sell at, and I've been working with a couple for at least 2 or 3 years now, I think, but it's just difficult to really make that sustainable unless you have 10 boutiques to work with. So I think I'm going to definitely keep focusing on just selling directly to customers through my website as much as possible.
Because I suppose also now as well, the whole world's your marketplace. You're not just stuck with, people in LA or whatever.
Right. Right, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Carol, you are truly a star. We are looking forward to getting you over to Europe. Shall we?
Crack at Man
Do you
at
fancy?
Cheese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stig.
Man
Me
or
and Skelly
cheese.
will
Yes.
do Man and Cheese for Carol. Would you like to explain it to Carol, Stig?
It's better if you don't explain it. It's more
Yeah,
fun.
it's quite easy. Basically, you've got to decide if it's man or cheese.
Right,
Is that all right?
that's
All the
literally-
rules done there? Yeah.
That's
Okay,
extended
yeah, that
rules.
makes perfect
that's the-
sense.
I don't
that's
see
the-
why I'm not allowed to play with
Well,
this game
because
either.
you're supposed to be the compare. You're
Not
the
after- not
host.
after the
You're the
accident
host
last
with the
time.
most.
All right. Coming up now, we have man or cheese, in which Karol B has to decide who is
So
man
that
or
is, so
cheese.
Carol, that
Take
is
it
your,
away.
that is your answer. It's either man or
Drone.
cheese. Okay, so first of all, and this is more like saying what you're about. This is a sign of you in your, what's hiding in your soul. Yeah, your
Very good
personality test.
It's a bit like the It's a bit like the
It
Rorschach.
is.
It's the modern
It is.
Rorschach.
Okay, so starting off,
Gotcha.
Phil Collins.
Gotcha.
I agree. to be
Cheese.
fair. That's a good one. Skelly.
John Stamos, Man or Cheese.
Man.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
debatable, but yeah, we'll give you that one.
Dennis
feeling kind tonight.
Roussos.
That sounds like a cheese to me, but
I would
don't-
say cheese. I'll
don't
give
know.
you that one. I'll give you that. You're doing
Okay.
well. You do.
It's Cheese Mountain.
Skelly.
Mick Hucknall, Man or Cheese.
Mick Huck. No.
What was that?
Mick Hucknall. Simply
Yeah,
told.
I don't know who that is. I'll just say man.
Oh no,
No.
he's simply Red Leicester. He's a cheese.
Okay.
Okay, Derek Double Gloucester. You're right again.
Cheese.
Carol.
Could
Okay,
have been
Skelly,
easier.
and the last one for Skelly.
Richard Nixon, Man or Cheese.
Cheese.
And apparently not a crook.
Okay, well, also a round of applause. Carol got them all right. So what we're going to do, Carol, next year when we're at Wasteland, we will be giving out small patches saying that I won at Man or Cheese, and you are in a very small group of people. Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Bragging rights
good.
there, sir. Bragging rights. Anybody who'd like to
Yes.
say goodbye or any wishes to anybody before we sign off? So that patch, guys, will be available on Carol's site later today, and we will put a link up. Also, have a look at the coats, and on the Cult of V2A, we will put a special place where you can put your name and your photo, and next week we are going to have the Cult of V2A on as guests. So any shout out, Carol, that you would like to do to anybody before we go?
Hi, Mom. That's about it. I don't know.
That's very
That's
good.
most important.
Okay, Stig, any shouts out?
Absolutely none. Oh, my cat. It's outside somewhere. God knows. It's called
Okay,
Max.
A shout out to
No, in Gotham,
Skelly. Anything from your side?
Yeah, I'd like to shout at the neighbours to shut the fuck up. But
Again?
That's about
And
it.
Downstairs ones.
No, it's just outside. I think there's raucous parties going on for some reason. Not like there's any extenuating circumstances that
And
you
also-
can't do that, but you know.
And
It's
you've
just
got no,
suburbs.
have you got no
Exactly.
cake to throw
Also,
them now?
a big
Well,
get
they've had a
well
lot of cake.
soon to Mechanised,
cake.
and also a get well soon to Dean.
Yeah.
And everybody else out there, be good to each other, take care, be safe, and we will see you next week on the Freak Show, guys. So awesome. We will see you next week, everybody. Have a good one, and this will be available on a podcast from tomorrow. And check and subscribe to the channel. We've now got 1,200, 400 people. Who knows? It's growing all the time. How about that? So good night, guys, and we will see you next week.